like I will book passive aggressive, bitch, evil. Like that's a lot more my wheelhouse often than a sort of a nicer version.
Right.
And it is so cathartic.
Hi, I'm Alex DeLerma, and this is the Cinema Gym. If these videos are helping you and you want to see some more, please like, subscribe, comment. Let's keep this thing going. It's always therapeutic to be talking to Karen Strassman, and that's the topic, therapeutic acting. So you and I had a conversation about the therapy that can come from acting, that acting is not therapy, but it can be therapeutic. What does that mean to you, therapeutic acting?
Well, I think we can let parts of ourselves live that we don't normally let loose. And, and it's very interesting because I tend to be sort of I want to be a kind, appropriate, pleasing person in life. I was raised to be a good girl, and I generally I like to be a good person.
Yeah.
But most of the roles I book are not good people. It's fascinating. I will book passive aggressive, bitch, evil. Like that's a lot more my wheelhouse often than a sort of a nicer version.
Right.
And it is so cathartic. I get to let parts of myself live that I push down or that I deny.
Squelch, yeah. But you don't want to let that out because you don't want to harm or hurt others or yourself. And so when you behave badly on camera or on stage, there's no consequences. Did you ever have an experience where there was something in your past or present that wasn't dealt with, but then you had an opportunity through a role to do that, and even though you're playing pretend, it wound up sort of like being a healing? Did you ever experience something like that?
100%.
That's
I
great.
mean, I felt that with Mayans MC when I played the meth addict. There was like a wild part of me that was just freed. And ever since I played that role, that wild part of me, it's like a part of, we all have parts of ourselves that are disowned. Like I studied psychology and I majored in psychology. And we have like disowned selves or shadow selves. And that was literally part of my shadow self or disowned self that I got to integrate into me.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Have you had that?
My experience with therapeutic acting came accidentally. I got cast as one of the leads in a play. I was a very young man, and my biological father had abandoned us. So I'm the youngest of 6 kids. And I definitely...
In life or in the play?
In real life.
In real life.
In real life.
Okay.
And I remember thinking, oh, this is great. I can use my own angst about my biological father in the play. So then, night after night, as I would do it, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna get powered up now. It got harder and harder to do that because I was exercising those demons on stage, and so became therapeutic, and I built up an emotional callus to what used to be a painful thing. I could go to that if I wanted to get angry or sad, and I just had this epiphany. I went, whoa, that's amazing. And then a few years later, when I was with a different acting coach, I remember him saying, acting's not therapy, but it can be therapeutic. I knew exactly what he meant.
Yeah.
It was one of the best things that I discovered about acting.
Yeah, it's interesting because, as you know, I coach as well.
Yeah.
And in a particular voiceover class that I give, there's a piece of copy for women that is sort of the archetype of Maleficent. Mm-hmm. Like she's this evil, controlling, narcissistic, and that piece of copy, women will gravitate, out of 30 pieces of copy, out of 30 roles that people can choose from, every single class, at least 2 people will choose that piece of copy. Because there's something about playing that. And when we're working on it, I'm like, no, go even further. Like, people will be shy with it. I'm like, no, because we long to let that part of ourselves free. And not only that, and what's fascinating is, as an audience, as a public, we have a fascination with characters that portray the dark sides of ourselves. And I said, that's why Maleficent was so popular and box office hit, because women and men, we want to experience what it's like. There's a power to that that's alive, and that life energy we push down. And so it's so interesting because, yeah, it's an evil character, but in every single class, I have these women who have breakthroughs getting to like let that part of them out and portray that and just even bring that energy to life in the class. And everybody's like the evil or the bigger, the more narcissistic. Everybody's like, you know, it's so pleasing.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And in the Cinema Gym studio, same thing. I would offer an actor a choice of different scenes to do for this on-camera scene study. And my theory was that they always gravitated toward the edgier stuff, not just because, as they said, well, that's got more meat on the bone and I can do more with it. And I always thought to myself, I think it goes deeper than that. It's like you said, there's a part of us that is not allowed to come out, whether you want to call that behaving badly, whether it's playing the killer, it's playing the player, the misogynist, the home wrecker who runs, she runs away with the guy with the Maserati or whatever it is. There, it fills a need.
Yeah. The bad boy, the villain, the killer.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, we have that, and we're wired to want to kill for survival. Mm-hmm. It's part of the human thing that we're in.
Yeah. That's very, very true. Yeah. Wow. So, I don't think I have to put a button on this, but for anybody who shies away, because every now and then I'll have an actor that says, hey, I want to, I'm getting a little rusty. I don't have an audition to work on with you, but can you send me a monologue or send me a scene? Every now and then I'll get somebody that goes, I don't know about that thing you sent me. And I'll say, well, what are you scared of? Like, I don't know. It's just not me. Well, that's the point. I'm used to maybe taking a 25-pound or 30-pound dumbbell and doing some curls. But if I add some weight to it, and I do hammer curls, or I, go out to the sides or do something different, that this muscle's going to grow. Mm-hmm. So, that's another benefit to going to the dark side a little bit. Yeah. If you're interested in classes, seminars, or private coaching, you can visit the website. Hope to see you in the gym soon.
TheCinemaGym.com for virtual one-on-one coaching for camera.